Hey guys, here I'm doing my jump animation for the animation thread that I started. So I just thought I'd do this and record it at the same time. So we'll do that. So we'll insert the character. I'll go like this. We'll put it over here. Left and put it on the ground. Whoops, we'll just go like this. Okay, it's roughly on the ground. Okay, and we'll give it some clothes. I'll do a quick shading of the skin. There's a heck of a lot of shaders here, so let's delete some of these things. Remove unused masters, and we will consolidate all the duplicates. And this here should do the skin. It's a little more red. Okay, even a little more shininess. Oh, that's good enough for me. Okay, I think I wanted to change the pant color here. Let's go to the pants. Change it to a blue color. Okay, something like that. Okay, now let's try to start some animating here. So let's select the foot, and we're going to lift the foot up, and we notice things go a little squirrely. That's because this has inverse kinematics all the way along the foot and the leg. So when you drag one thing, everything else, and it translates all the way around to the other foot. So we're going to have to stop that. So let's go to the Modifiers tab, and we will do an IK termination point here, and an IK termination point here. Still does it, but we have to stop it up here as well. So let's select that. IK terminator, IK terminator. Now let's see if it helps. And also, really got to select the blue handle here instead of the bone, which causes me some headaches when I'm doing this. So when it turns to the plus sign, that's when it's on the manipulator handle. So it does what we want. So now let's select the hip. So the actor hip, make sure you select the blue handle. Here's where it's really important, because if you click and drag the spine, it distorts the body, and undoing it does not fix it. So you lose all your work. So you really got to make sure you grab the handle. And the feet go through the floor. I wanted the knees to bend there. So what I'm going to do is select the foot, use the IK chain tool, and then select the femur. And let's go to the director's camera. And you notice just then an IK target was placed on that foot. So let's select the other foot, and then the IK target. So now we have two IK targets. And we can select this one over here since it's the right foot. It can get confusing, the two being there, so let's change this to a nice bright red. Red is for R, and R is for right, so it's the right foot is red. Probably won't use it now today, but it's good to do. Okay, now let's select the Genesis figure. The Genesis hip. Move this up. Go to the sequencer. Let's make sure we select the IK targets as well. Both of the IK targets. And let's move this guy to be right at the edge of the precipice. Not really a precipice since it's only 5 feet high, but or 5 feet deep. But anyways, there's our character at the edge of the hole. Okay, now make sure we're at the beginning of the animation, and we're gonna do our first keyframe. So we'll do the zoom in, and we will select the hip. Make sure we select the manipulator key. Whoops. Did what I just I zero the figure again. Silly thing. So you really got to make sure you select it. Let's move it back. Select the IK targets and the hip and move them in front by the edge. Now select the hip. There. Okay, now he bends his knees. Okay, let's go like this. Don't want him to do that yet, actually. I want to go to the front view. Shift R and we'll rotate his arms. Select this arm, rotate. Okay, that's good. Now I shift T to go back to the T, and then we'll select the hip. No, actually what I want to do. So that's our first keyframe of the animation. The next one, I want him to bend down or squat a bit. So let's switch this to, it is frames per second, so 12. We'll do 12 frames per second. So this is the next one. It's the hip wire frame. That's really bend down here. And he's going to go forward a little. Move the hip, he's probably not going to be that far. Okay, like that. Okay, let's select parts of the spine now. Bend forward. Move up the spine here, up the chain, so you go this way. And I'm really going to move his arms back. Move the other arm back. And we'll do this, whoops, Shift T and so you're really squatting down. So let's run through this part and see how it looks. So you go like this. Okay, that's good. Okay, I can't see where that are. I should be able to see that. So let's go back to the beginning of the animation, and I want to fix that. So the ground, I want to go in here and block this off. So let's go like this. Control Shift L to link it. We'll crease it. Control Shift L. Crease it. And we might as well give this a different color too. I think it's just gray, so let's give it a different color. Let's just slot that color on there. It's a dark color. That's good enough. Okay, now let's run the animation and see what it... So that's a good first... He's really ready to jump. So we go back. Okay, so the next one I want to do is him in the middle. I guess you're modeling or rigging or animating the extreme poses as I've learned. So the next pose would be the peak here when he's in the air. So let's go to that. Go like this, go to 12, and we will select the hip bone and the two IK targets, and we will drag it to the middle. Maybe not quite the middle, something like that, and up, and then we will deselect the hip, and we will move the feet like this. And like this. Okay, so when you're like that, the arms should be reaching this way. Okay, just hold it. I wanted to change something here. The head, I want him looking. I think he'd want to look where he's jumping to, so he's going to have his head up. Something like that. So if we go to the next keyframe, which is this one, then we select this arm and we rotate it. And I think this guy, I want this bone here. And then we'll put his head forward. I think his head would be forward here. So let's just scrub through that and see what it looks like. So it's... Actually, I think his head should be back. Just going through that, it should be back like this. Okay. Whoops, I have those on the wrong. They should be on keyframe 12. Let's go to... Okay, something like that. Okay, let's select the hip. The two IK targets and move them forward. Right like that. Now move them forward. I want it to be on the 12, so move them forward, the 12th frame. And let's deselect the hip and move these feet up just a little bit and back. Okay, so now on 18, he's going to be preparing to land. So let's go to 18. Select the hip and everything. And then the feet. Deselect the hip. The feet are going to land first. Although we could select the hip and lower him down a bit. Deselect the hip and then move the feet. Rotate these guys. The hip will probably be pushed back that way, and already the body, his upper body, is going to be preparing to land. So I think it's going to be starting to, whoops, what did I select here? Okay, let's find this and go down one. So it's the abdomen I want. And then the arms themselves will also go back. This one go up. Okay. And then the next frame, it's going to happen a lot quicker here, so we'll put that one in half. We'll copy these guys here. We don't want the feet to move, so Control Alt and copy a couple here. But then the hip will keep moving forward and down. And the body, okay, the body, which one have I got selected? The abdomen. I guess it's as far as it goes, so I do the one up above that, so the chest will bend down and the head will also bend down, as well as the neck. You want to really have the head hit. So we want the abdomen, that's as far as it can go, so we'll go down one more there. And then the arms, we want them to go up a bit more. Okay, so now let's see what this looks like. Okay, now what we have to do is straighten this, have him stand up again. So let's select the hip. He's still probably going to move forward a bit, like the hip itself, so that goes up that way. And then we'll have him straighten out his upper body. And straighten out his arms. And back to the neutral position, or sort of neutral position, or at his side. And we'll have the head. And then we'll just have another keyframe and have them straighten up some more. Whoops. Just have him straighten out his arms. Okay, now let's zoom in here. Go back to the beginning and play the animation. Okay, that looks not too bad. Let's stop that. Go back. Now run the animation. Okay, it's not bad, but if we look in the side view here, do the same thing again, run it. You notice the feet don't get stuck there, so let's go and go back to the beginning. Go through and watch the feet while they're leaving the ground when they shouldn't. So let's see when they leave the ground right here. So let's just make them stick a little longer. See what that does. So let's go like this, Control Alt, and then they're in the ground, but that's still not too bad. So now if we play it, okay, let's go to the next keyframe and try and fix the toe issues and the feet issues going through the floor. Go like that, and then find this over here, wherever his feet are. His right toes. Let's rotate them up so they're like this. The left toes do the same. And go to the next keyframe. Select this. Get them out of the ground. Okay, so that should be not too bad. So let's go back. Go to this large view and let's run it. Okay, I've got to make his toes go better again. Okay. We curled the toes here, so let's go to this one here and make the toes go back. He should be leaving the ground here. He's off the ground, so let's go like this. And do that for that one as well. Let's go to a large view. And play the end. Whoops, get rid of the bones by deselecting. I think I want him to be jumping higher. So let's go back to the 2V layout and go to the middle frame, which is right here, and select the hip, 2 IK targets, and just raise him up, and then go back, and then run the animation. Okay, that's not too bad. Actually, we can remove that so it plays all frames and see what it looks like. It's a little slow. So now you can just tweak the in-between poses, but it's not a bad start. I'll render this as a render it out and then post this at the end so you can take a look at it. Hopefully this helps some of you in your animation quest. See you later. Okay, here is the clip rendered of our jump. I think it looks okay. It's just he needs to be sped up, so if you compress all the keyframes, it should look a bit better than what it is now. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this. Bye.